the Wooddale Public Library. I'm very excited to welcome everyone to today's event. Today we are celebrating early learning with a very special guest, Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi. Early literacy instruction, which is actually happening on the other side of our partition here, is vital to the success of children in school and later in life. A public library welcomes all children free of charge to learn and to explore their potential. The grant presented today will allow us to develop an early learning center in this edition of our newly renovated library. It will allow us to equip and to furnish this flexible space to facilitate learning for our youngest patrons. Behind me on the screens, you can see some of the items that this grant will provide. Now, I would like to introduce our longest-serving library trustee and current board president, Mrs. Barbara Dunn.
And I am the president of the board of the Wooddale Public Library District. I want to thank you all for coming this afternoon to help us welcome our representative, Raja Krishnamoorthi. So thank you for coming. As you know, the congressman represents the 8th Congressional District of Illinois, and he was put into office in January of 2017, and he was reelected in 2020. In March of this year, Representative Krishnamoorthi joined his colleagues to pass the 12-bill omnibus package to fund the government through fiscal year 2022, preventing a government shutdown and advancing a range of provisions endorsed by the congressman. Speaking of that bill, he said, "Beyond keeping our government running and strengthening critical programs, I'm also glad I was able to secure the inclusion of a range of provisions I championed to protect American consumers, support our national security, grow our economy, and provide critical funding for the community programs in my district." Plus the community programs that we are here today for. Now, our congressman, he secured $3,160,000 in community projects funding for the 8th district. And he just endorsed 9 of them. And one of them was early learning in the public library, which the public library, our public library, sent and asked him for. So we are very lucky to get this grant. So we are delighted this afternoon to welcome our honorable and distinguished Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi as he makes the official announcement of our grant award.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Barbara and Joanna. As I like to say, it's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to be any place they can pronounce my name right. And it's a true story, and some of my staff have heard this before, but when I first ran for office in Illinois, I said to someone, "Hi, my name is Raja Krishnamoorthi." And the person in Chicago looked right back at me and said, "Roger Christian Murphy. Very nice to meet you." He said, "I didn't know the Irish made it to India." So, in any case, it's such a pleasure and delight to be here. I have to tell you, I really miss being in the library. When I walked in the door and saw your beautiful library, I just want to sit down and start reading some books. It's that inviting. And to me, like, the libraries are the temples of democracy. They are open to everyone. They are free to everyone. They allow everyone to learn and to be together and to learn from each other. Am I right about that? Yes. And you and Wooddale have done so much with this beautiful library. And so when you applied for this grant, you applied along with dozens and dozens and dozens of other excellent public institutions and not-for-profits and local governments throughout our very large congressional district. But this one really stood out because you emphasized something very near and dear to all of our hearts, which is early childhood learning. And I can't emphasize enough how important that particular discipline is, not just for the children, but for the communities. And now, more than ever, this particular activity is so crucial. You know, recently, a literacy assessment study was performed in 41 states, and they showed that during the pandemic, nearly half of kindergartners were falling well below grade level benchmarks that they otherwise would have attained were it not for the pandemic. So what you're doing now by providing additional support is making up for lost time. And that's so crucial now more than ever. Now, the funding that you will be receiving is going to be providing some very essential equipment for the library. I understand that you're going to be purchasing shelving and furniture and other materials and providing support for reusable activities. You'll be purchasing books and computers and everything that your children are going to need to take that next step in their learning journey. I want to say that what's really remarkable, and I believe Maida was the one who applied or did the application? Well, you made a great application. In her application, in your application, you emphasize that you are already serving 3 to 4-year-olds, and this particular childhood center is at full capacity. But at full capacity, it's basically providing support for 16% of your community's children. So imagine if we could just expand that, and if we could have more children come here, maybe have a situation where you have most of the community's children being able to come here during the 66 hours a week that this particular center is open. 66 hours a week. That's a lot of incredible time for them to learn and to be with each other and to learn all the different soft skills that we need as a society. Now, one of the very interesting aspects of early childhood learning is that it not only helps the children, it helps adults in the community. In Washington, D.C., when early childhood learning was made free and universal just a few years ago, the city saw a huge benefit for especially low-income parents, because labor force participation among women with young children in Washington increased from 65% to almost 77% in just a decade. So in other words, more women were able to participate in the workforce and realize their economic potential, and families are all better off. So I just want to say to you, I am so pleased to announce that you will be receiving a $225,000 check. This is a replica of that check. You could try to go to the bank and deposit it, but I'm not sure what would happen. But the check is in the mail. The check is in the mail. And so you will be receiving a $225,000 grant. And I know that in your application you already indicated that there's additional resources that you're also plowing into this project. So it's a real great partnership that we're forming between the federal and the local levels of government. And I'm so honored to be a small part of this incredible endeavor that you've embarked upon, which is, to me, doing the Lord's work, which is educating our youngest people. So thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you so much.
We appreciate this grant immensely, but it's going to help and benefit so many of our children and their parents, and I'd like to introduce you to 2 of them.
Great. All right. All right. Hey. you're Aideen? Hi Aideen, can I shake your hand? Nice to meet you. And who is this? Ileana, can I shake your hands? Thank you so much.
Giving so much money for the Olympics.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dora, thank you so much. They look so lovely.
And now I'd like to invite any staff that are here and board members to come up here and join the Congressman as he cuts off.
All right. All right. Let's get some statistics. Whoa. Oh, wow.
There you go.
Sharp. Okay. Okay, sure. You want to take the top and I'll take
Oh,
the
really?
bottom?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
All right. And then I think what we do is I've been taught a trick of the trade for ribbon cutting. First, we're supposed to pretend like we're going to cut the ribbon so that you take the pictures. Okay, so we'll do that first. Okay, on 3 you can take pictures. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got it, Blake? Okay. Now we cut the ribbon. 1, 2, 3.
Thank all of you for helping us celebrate this day and enjoy just having our congressman here. And we'd like to invite you to come and have another cup of coffee or tea or sandwich and enjoy the library. Look around, and I hope you're as pleased with it as we are. Thank you.
Here we come, just stomping with our feet, singing dino-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-doo. Searching all around for something good to eat, singing dino-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-doo. We're huge, we're huge, we're strong, we're strong, we're huge, we're strong. Won't be hungry very long. Dino-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-doo. Dino-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-doo. Thanks,
Yeah.
Under 5? Okay, well, thank you. Oh my gosh. And thanks. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you to the moms and dads. You guys are awesome, and you're investing in your kids. I'm so proud to be a part of representing you in Washington. Thank you. Thank you.